Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So here we are with another one of my video diaries, and I was kind of wondering what I was going to do for this one, and then I thought maybe I'll share my Halloween bucket list, I guess I would call it, with you guys. So I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but I haven't been doing a whole lot of Halloween hauling on the channel, like compared to last year especially. And I usually do like 4 or 5 kind of, you know, fairly large Halloween hauls. And the reason is because this year I really wanted to take some of our Halloween savings, yes, that's the thing around here is Halloween savings, and put it towards going to events and experiences. So if you've been around for a while, you know that last year Halloween was completely canceled for us because both of us ended up with COVID in October, and we also had a really tragic situation happen where we had to get one of our dogs put down. So after that, between being sick and grieving, like Halloween just didn't happen. We didn't go to a single event that we had scheduled. We took down all of the decorations at the beginning of the month and put everything away. Like I couldn't even deal with seeing the Halloween decorations because I wasn't in the mood for it. I wasn't in the mood to be happy. So this year I wanted to make sure that I book some events so we can get out and have some fun and do the things that we were supposed to do last year but just didn't have a chance. So I'm going to go through my Halloween bucket list. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you're interested in seeing some vlogs where we go out and share some of these experiences, then let me know down in the comments below. So the first event that we booked is called Pumpkins After Dark, and basically it's like if you've ever gone to like a festival of lights or something like that for Christmas, it's very much similar, where it's a walkthrough experience, and I believe there's over 20,000 hand-carved pumpkins. And they're all lit up, of course, and there's archways and all kinds of things. And they also have food trucks and other kinds of experiences. And they do have some, I'm not sure if they're really scare actors, but they're, you know, actors dressed up that are walking around. So we did book flex passes for this. So that's something that I wanted to do, is if, you know, if some of these experiences had like premium tickets, we went ahead and booked those. So this one, it kind of allows us to go on whatever date and time that we want to. So I have it in my mind the day that I want to go, but if something comes up or it's bad weather or whatever, then we can choose another time. So this has been in our area for a couple of years now, and I've heard it's really, really good. So we're planning on going to this one, and I want to kind of wait a little bit. I think it starts at the end of September actually, and I want to wait a little bit so, you know, we can go when it's really dark in the evenings. But the other thing about a lot of these events as well is we get really, really bad weather here early, so we usually do have snow by the time that Halloween rolls around, and it's super cold. So hoping to get to this one on a night that has good weather and we can go have a good time and maybe experience some of the mini donuts, which is one of my favorite things to get at festivals. And I did actually book a whole bunch of events through our friends at Haunted Calgary. So they have things that go on from August right through till November. And so I was really excited to see some of their experiences. So we did book VIP tickets, or RIP as they call them, so really important person. And their events actually started last month with one that was called Fear Around the Fire. It was on, I think, August the 19th. And I was super excited to go. I was really, really excited. This was the one event that I wanted to go to. And basically they had a campfire, and it was local folklorists and authors that were telling ghost stories and local ghost legends and stuff like that. They had a s'mores bar, so you could get s'mores and hot cocoa and all of that kind of stuff. And then after they were finished telling the stories, they did a haunted ghost walk, like through the park. And of course this would happen to me. I got really, really sick on that day, and I actually ended up at our local urgent care for most of the afternoon into the evening so I could get a prescription, and I was not feeling very well. And I was like, of course, this would happen to me on the one night that we have an event booked, and unfortunately we couldn't get rid of our tickets. Like we couldn't, like it was last minute, obviously we were trying to get rid of them. So unfortunately we just full on missed that and we were out the money, which is not a big deal, it happens, right? But I was really, really upset that I didn't get to go. And I mean, you know, I could have pushed my way through it, but I really didn't want to go down and sit outside in the cold and have an experience that's supposed to be fun and just try to get through it. So we ended up staying home and just watching a movie instead. And then the first week of October here is actually a long weekend because it's our Canadian Thanksgiving, which is the first Monday in October instead of the American Thanksgiving, which is in November. So we booked a couple of things for this weekend. One of them, we're actually going to a haunted house experience. It's an outside haunted house experience, and they have themed walkthroughs. So like each walkthrough has a different theme basically. So they have like one that's clowns, there's one that's like a funeral home, there's one usually like with zombies or aliens and stuff like that. And they do the experiences in big shipping containers, and you do a walkthrough. So I haven't been to this event for a really, really long time, and it's actually kind of, you do an experience to actually get there, and there's scare actors that chase you and stuff with chainsaws and that kind of thing. And I haven't been for years and years, but I know it's a really, really good one. Matthew's never been. So I really wanted to book this one, and we did get the speed pass because what I found the last time was, like I said, this is an outside experience and it can get quite cold here. So if you have to stand in line for 30 or 40 minutes for each one of the attractions, like you're absolutely freezing. So I did book speed passes for us. So it's front of the line entrance for each one of the haunted houses. And there's one house that's back this year that I will absolutely skip. So a little bit of a story time. They do have one of the experiences, they have it every few years, that's What Lurks in the Dark. And I didn't realize when I went the last time that this experience is completely in the dark. There's absolutely no light. And there's a huge lineup of people that come through. So you have people in front of you, people behind you. And this particular experience is a maze. So you have to feel your way through the maze, and it's in complete pitch black. And if you hit a wall, you have to get everyone in the lineup to turn around so you can find the right pathway through. And I literally was having a full-on panic attack. I was crying. I just wanted to get out of there. And I was with my niece, and I had my face like buried into her back, and I was so happy to get out of that thing. So that's back this year. Totally going to skip it, never doing that again. I was like full on scared in that place, and my anxiety is worse now than it was back then. So I'm gonna skip that haunted house. So after you do the walkthroughs, they also have a midway, and that part of it is heated. So it's in a tent, and they have like carnival games and stuff like that. They have like shops that you can buy creepy dolls and stuff, and the prizes and everything are really, really good. They also have a main stage that they have contortionists and fire breathers and stuff like that there, and they also have food and drinks and all of that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a big carnival really. And so I'm super excited. It's been about, I don't know, 15, 16 years since I've been to that one. So super excited to get there. And we had booked the speed pass tickets for last year, but ended up, like I said, having to sell them. So really, really excited for that one. And then in the same weekend, like I said, we have, it's our Canadian Thanksgiving. So instead of me going out and buying all of the stuff and making a huge meal just for the two of us, we decided to book a Thanksgiving Day buffet at one of the hotels here. So really, really excited. They have a huge menu, and you know, obviously they have turkey, but they also have like pork loin and lamb and beef and all of the things. And you know, it's basically like a 4 or 5 course dinner that you get, and it's fairly cheap considering the amount of food. So really super excited for that, and it's gonna be nice not having to cook a Thanksgiving dinner for 1 year. And because you know, these days food is so expensive, it's like $50 minimum to get a frozen turkey. So definitely put the money into this. We're gonna make some reservations and go down there for our Thanksgiving dinner. And then, like I said, I did book the RIP passes for our friends at Haunted Calgary. So they do basically, we have a mall here, and they have a parkade, underground parkade, and through the whole month of October they completely shut down the parkade and they turn it into a haunted attraction. So really super excited. So on Friday the 13th, and this is going to be so much fun, it's a slasher showdown. So it's a haunt that's based around our favorite vintage slasher movies, and so really super excited for that one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and if it's themed around, you know, our favorite slashers, those are the movies that most of us watch during this season, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And they really do go all out. Like, the makeup is really good, the scare actors are really good. And then one of their other attractions, their theme for this year for their haunt is called Skeletons in Our Closet. And there's different nights that they have the scare or the haunted house done in a particular way. So the first one they have is a full scare. They also have a low scare version for people who don't like to get full on, you know, jump scares and stuff like that. I think they probably have the lights up a little bit more, or younger. I think the age is 13 plus, but like for younger teenagers and stuff like that. So they have a low scare version. And then I think they have two other ones. But one of them is called Blackout. So again, I'm skipping this one because each group that goes through the haunt gets a glow stick, but the scare actors are able to steal your glow stick, and then you'll have to find your way through the haunt completely, like, in the dark. So like I said, being claustrophobic myself, that one's not for me. So we're skipping out on that one, but we will go to the other one, the full scare and the low scare, to experience those, because I think they're going to be a lot of fun. So like I said, they put on stuff right throughout the month, and I'm really wishing them a super spooky season. So those two scares are in October, and then they have, I'm going to be taking part in this, what would you call it, a survival game. It's called Hell Night, and this is a particular one that you book, and it's a zombie themed survival game. So basically everyone has to try to last the longest, and zombies can bite you, but you can also, like, it's a maze, I think, and around there's extra lives that are hidden. There's food and water tokens that are hidden, and I believe if you find a pool noodle, you can make the zombie freeze for however many seconds, but then you have to relinquish your pool noodle, and then whoever ends up getting bitten during the game turns into one of the zombies. And they have one of the costume shops here that is going to be doing like full-on zombie makeup. So if you get bitten, you go get your makeup and then you turn into one of the zombies, and then of course the person who survives till the end gets a prize. So that sounds really fun. I believe they already had one this year, and then there's another one. So really super excited to be taking part in the Haunted Calgary events. I think they're a great group, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So one more event that I have planned that I haven't booked tickets yet for, but I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing else going to come up that was going to interfere with it. One of the local theme parks here is having a ghost tea. So basically you do a family-friendly ghost tour through their theme park, and then you go into one of the buildings and they have afternoon tea. So of course it's like sandwiches and scones and sweets and your tea and all of that kind of stuff, which would be really nice because, like I said, it gets super cold here, and it'll be nice to go in for a tea and, you know, a little treat afterwards. So that sounds super fun. And then the other one, I forget the name of the company that does this, but it's basically a free ghost walk around one of the haunted areas in Calgary. So it's outside. I haven't booked this one in yet because by the time the middle to the end of October rolls around, it is getting quite cold, and the one thing I don't want to do is have to be outside when it's, you know, snowing and -40. So that's one that you don't have to book in advance. So I'll just wait until the day, and if we still have nice weather and we have a nice day, maybe we'll go do that during the evening. So one thing I wanted to say after all of this is that Matthew and I are like mega introverts, so this is a lot for us to be going out. But we have been getting out and about to some of the things that have been happening even during the summer in and around Calgary, and it's been a lot of fun. So I did want to book some of these events for Halloween, and like I said, this is kind of what I put my savings towards instead of just buying decorations. So I still have to do my pilgrimage to Spirit Halloween. Haven't been to Spirit Halloween yet this year, guys, which I think this is the latest. Usually when I go, they're like, oh, we're still waiting for stuff to come in. We don't have that piece. What is it you're looking for? Oh, we don't have that yet. So I actually, because I used to go like the first weekend that they were open, and this time I'm not. And like I said, after booking all of those events, kind of gotta wait for my Halloween savings to build up a little bit again before I go to Spirit, because I know that there's some stuff that I want to get there. So still planning on going to Spirit Halloween. And I also want to go to Fabricland to get some fabric, because there's some projects that I wanted to work on. So those are a couple of things that are also on my bucket list for this year. And next, I wanted to talk about some movies that I'm super, super excited to see. So some of them we're actually going to one today, and there's really good ones going right throughout all spooky season. So again, if you want to hear my movie wrap up, I guess, and what I thought of these ones, then let me know down in the comments below. So the first one, which is the one we're going to see today, is called R.L. Stine's Zombie Town. And it's funny because I was looking for showtimes, I believe, for The Nun 2, which is another one that we're going to be going to see. But I saw this one, like, in the showtimes, and I was like, I haven't even heard of this movie. How is there an R.L. Stine movie out during spooky season that I didn't hear about? And apparently it's because it's a Canadian released film, so I don't even know if it's being shown outside of Canada, but it does have like Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and a couple of other really big names, and it looks super cute. It looks super cheesy, and if it is a Canadian film, it is going to be a full-on cheese fest. So Matt and I are super excited to go see this one. We watched the trailer last weekend. They have one showtime left. I believe last weekend they had a couple of showtimes, and there's only one this week. So want to get in to see that one, because I'm afraid if we don't get to see it, we're just going to miss it. So basically this is about, it's very reminiscent of Goosebumps, like the Goosebumps movies with Jack Black, where a town is completely overrun by zombies. And of course the main characters are trying to get away from them. And I believe Dan Aykroyd is like somebody, kind of like a Ghostbusters kind of themed guy who's gonna help them get rid of these zombies. So really super excited to see that one. So obviously it's a horror comedy. And I will definitely let you guys know what I think about that, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then next, of course, is The Nun 2. The Nun, the first one, was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. For a character like Valak that you were expecting like a full-on, like really, really good spin-off series, I found that The Nun really didn't hit the mark as much as it should have. I have seen it a couple of times though, and we do throw it on every now and again. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. But from what I've heard, The Nun 2 was just released this weekend, and I've heard some pretty good things. Like, people were like, it's not fantastic, but it was good. There were scares, people are enjoying it. So definitely going to be booking my tickets for this one. I'm not sure if we're going to get to it this week or if it'll be next weekend. Really, really excited to see this, because Valak is one of my favorite characters. And then the next one, of course, out on September 15th is The Haunting in Venice, and this one is based on Agatha Christie's Halloween Party, which I kind of planned this poorly, because I planned on reading Halloween Party during October on audiobook. So usually I like to read the book and then go see the movie, but this one is going to be vice versa, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And of course this one is a Poirot mystery, so it looks really good. It looks really spooky. The only thing that I'm worried about is that it might be a little bit slow, because I find it harder when movies are slower when you're seeing them in the theater versus seeing them at home. I don't know why that is. It's just mental for me, I guess. But still super, super excited for this one as well. And the next one I wanted to see is one that I actually didn't know about until what did we go? Oh, we went to see the Haunted Mansion, and there was a trailer for this one. So I hadn't known it was coming out. So this one is called It Lives Inside, and it's about an American Indian teenager who's really struggling with her cultural identity, being Indian, of course, in America. And she has a falling out with her best friend, and she releases this demon. I don't know if she's possessed or, you know, somehow she ends up conjuring something. I'm not really sure how that works in this case, but it sounds really, really good because everybody knows that I love my religious horror, and I'm actually doing a religious horror month right now in September, so this fit in perfectly. I'm super excited about going to see this. I'm hoping that it will release here. I think it will. So if you guys have heard about this one, let me know, because like I said, it's not from one of the bigger production companies, and I don't know if it's widely released. So it's called It Lives Inside, and really super excited about this because, you know, demons, possession, whatever, American teenagers, it has all of the things. It ticks all my boxes. So super, super excited for this one. And then the one that I'm most excited about, and of course this is going to be coming out on Halloween weekend, is Five Nights at Freddy's. This looks so, so good, and you have these animatronics that are like super creepy, and, you know, overnight security guard and the whole thing. And I don't know anything about the game. Is it a game, Five Nights at Freddy's? But when I saw the trailer for this one, it looked so, so good. So I think out of everything that has come out in the past little while and carrying on through spooky season, I think this one is gonna take the cake for me. I'm really hoping it's good, and it looks fantastic. So really, really excited about this one. So I think out of all of them, probably The Nun and Five Nights at Freddy's I'm most excited about. And you'll probably notice that there's a couple of movies that are big blockbuster Halloween spooky season ones that are going to be coming out that I didn't mention. And, you know, some of them just aren't appealing to me. So these are the ones that I'm actually planning on seeing. It's not a comprehensive list of everything coming out. So there you guys go. That's an update on my Halloween bucket list, what I'm planning on doing, the places that I still need to go for my Halloween hunting. There'll probably be one more haul on the channel. I have a couple of pieces that I've had for a while, but I wanted to get my spirit Halloween stuff before I did my next haul, and a couple of movies that we're really excited to see. So like I said, this is a lot for us, for people who are introverts. I'm hoping that we don't have anything catastrophic happen during spooky season this year. And if you guys are interested in hearing wrap-ups, maybe some vlogs where I take you along on some of these visits, let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody. Bye.